Here's the sky and I having our first face-off. It's been long awaited. No more looking up wondering what's been looking down at me. It's like jumping on the bed and my feet still haven't landed back on the mattress yet. I see it now. All this time we've been scurrying around the maze. It's been a trick all along. We weren't supposed to actually go through it. But above. French class for me was Sunday morning, tears strolling down my eyes as I took in Les Mis on DVD. This Aussie was a Frenchman for 3 hours. French class for me was always buying a croissant every time I went to Starbucks. It was learning that French fries were from Canada, and going through a phase where I could never have enough French toast on my plate. Paris was more or less a bougie name than a place of being. It was pink poodles and curly leathers on my blanket. Europe was that book on the top shelf I couldn't reach even if I was on my tiptoes. If America is red, white, and blue, when it looks at its reflection in the mirror, would it see France? I knew only 4 phrases in the French language fluently. Is the spin-off to Coming to America, Niggas in Paris? Not gonna lie, your girl can make history her bitch but gets her ass whipped by geography. The first palace I saw was called Buckingham in my mind. The first large clock above us was none other than Old Ben himself. And I couldn't wait to see a payphone booth covered in red. Learn something, you silly girl. Don't give the Europeans an excuse to reconquer. Don't let the whites know you feel like a grain of pepper in a bowl of salt. When white people invaded new lands, tourism was on the rise according to a graph. When brown people crossed borders, the word terrorism appeared on the front page. French water is basically perfume. It's like pretty pollution. Never felt at ease in churches back at home, but here it didn't feel as cold. Colored glass windows cut me softly, leaving rainbow scars. Does this just magic that die, I heard? Statues are so that the living can remind themselves of the stains that other people have died. People are decaying like the paint of these walls, only they don't look as divine. We've learned to accept our sins because places like this no longer have no law. I'm like that bronze statue on display. I'm taking up space. I'm claiming this space. There is no such thing as for a wall, so no room really exists. It's just an amount of limited space. We find ourselves somewhere and convince ourselves it was waiting for us. I look the same, but I found a new mirror. Simple-minded people can't stand the sky. It's too open to everything. I wasn't scared of heights, I just thought I would never reach the top. Daylight likes to play games. It tags me, I spend hours trying to find it, and then suddenly it just goes away. Stop running, I scream at the light because its absence brings me back closer to where I came. We arrive on time, just to leave before the best part. Why can't people hold on to me the way gravity does? I dive headfirst, plopping myself into a pool of people, forgetting that I can't swim. Being told to live until we die is like the greatest irony. Everyone will be on the moon before we know what the earth is really made of. Everything about this country has sex appeal, including the food. Tasting ice cream here is like the first kiss I should have had. I stare at French boys like they are puppies in a glass window. I don't want to fall asleep or else Paris will get lonely and she'll leave me. I roll over, from one hotel room to the next, followed by the night which tries to spoon me. I'm afraid of loving anything so deeply, not just people. What if I've escaped a basement only to end up in an attic? Do I put on nightmares just like pajamas? Is this why the only time I am able to have a decent dream is when I'm awake? European showers serve as my therapy session, once I've actually mastered how to turn them on. Sometimes the past is just like a stalker who keeps track of your every move, giving you constant fear. I try to inhale music when I can't get enough air, but I forgot to make the playlist. I settle for bobbing to the city symphony on repeat. This is where I learned that starry skies aren't just on canvases. I'm not ashamed to say that while in France, I had a little rendezvous with Lafayette and didn't even learn his name until I left. My eyes have never been spoiled like this before. Smoking in France is like a sport where the winner gets lungs made out of gold. There is a potential model in nearly everyone I pass. I'm lost. Instead of a map, I'm giving advice. Look to discover, not to find. Mona Lisa, girl, I see you grinning. It's nice to finally meet you. I heard I was art too, except no one ever painted me. I hung on a wall before, stared at my face like it was a masterpiece. You can't tell, but I'm catwalking on this dirt like it's the yellow brick road. My problem really isn't how do I get back to Kansas, but how do I stay longer in Oz? Without a shield, I fought against the sword of my own worst enemy. I conquered a castle, and this is the first time it didn't come from a box. Smiles engraved on stones try to preserve happiness. I try to preserve a moment in a photo, only to realize I just recorded its death. I murdered this town. I shot the watch thinking that it would just make time stop. These ponies are shined because they'll never step foot on the dirt. Freedom has the same name in France, but a different face in America. Warriors have always found their way back to a destroyed home. The brochure didn't say how intoxicating the Mediterranean Sea is. Closing my eyes now, holding on to nothing. I'm past the point of letting go. Jump off. Your spirit will catch you. Wait until your tears dry to resurface. Love crawls into your chest to meet your heart, only to see it can't support it. We travel and imagine that we left nothing behind. The wind combs my hair, begging each strand to defy me. You don't need eyes to recognize peace. Every time I tell this story, it has a different ending. Maybe that just means it's not finished yet.